Friday update on wedding planners. The 10th of December 2021. Nandini saying I will be with K.T. very soon. Preeti gets sad. K.T. looks at her. They come home. Arjun asks Nandini, are you fine? Nandini says, yes, thank God your dad came on time and saved me. Arjun thanks K.T. He says mom always handled things alone. I want you and mom to get together. Neelima says blood ties are the closest. K.T. goes out and gets sad. Preeti comes to him and does the aid. She cares for him. Hamari Adari Kahani plays. She asks who is Nandini to you. He says enough aid now. She asks him again. He says you are my wife. I don't need to talk anything else. I don't care. She says I do care about your feelings. I want to know it. Can we maturely talk out? Don't run away. He says when person needs to lie, it means truth shouldn't come out. She says but you hate lies. Where will you find peace by lying? Do you love Nandini? He asks what are you saying? She asks him to swear on her and say it. Does he love Nandini even today? He says I don't know the truth myself. I have loved her the most. Maybe I can't love anyone else. This is my truth. She gets shocked. He goes. She cries. Thodi Jaga Didi Mujhe plays. She thinks of K.T. Neil calls Priyanka. She disconnects. He asks why do I feel restless when she isn't talking to me? Preeti says I have lost Kusum. K.T. loves Nandini, not me. Kusum says this can't happen. He can't love that Noggin. She isn't a good human. Preeti says K.T. feels inclined towards her. He loves her. I came between them. Kusum says don't sacrifice your relationship. Nandini didn't come back for love or husband, but for something else. K.T. goes to Nandini. He says it's too much of your drama now. I am fed up. My wife is troubled. It's better you leave my house. I got you here on Arjun's words. Just go. He drags her out. Everyone looks on. Preeti says I will talk later. She ends call and goes to stop K.T. She says Arjun will see and feel bad. K.T. says I will handle him. I was silent because of Arjun. Nandini thinks it's the right chance. She slips down the stairs. She faints. Arjun comes in. Worries for her. She gets treated. Arjun calls the police home. Nandini says Preeti wanted to kill me. She has pushed me down. See I am so hurt. Arrest her. Arjun says yes. Preeti is jealous that K.T. will return to us. Preeti thinks Nandini is lying. I have to stay quiet, else she will blame K.T. K.T. says it's a lie. Nandini says arrest her. Preeti gets arrested. Shivraj asks Neil to call the commissioner. Inspector says we have to do our duty. K.T. stops him. He says leave my wife, it's not her mistake. Nandini fell down because of me. Neelima asks what? He says yes, I had pushed Nandini. Preeti says no, he didn't do anything, I did it. K.T. says I did it, arrest me. Nandini thinks they are ready to go to jail to save each other. K.T. says I held Nandini's hand, arrest me. Nandini thinks I did a mistake by calling police. Nandini stops them. Nandini saying I slipped by mistake and fell down, we had a fight and I said all that. Inspector scolds her for wasting their time and goes. Shivraj says you should be ashamed. K.T. would have gone to jail. Nandini says how could he go to jail? Hurting him would mean hurting myself. Preeti thinks Nandini saved K.T. from going to jail by saying the truth. She recalls Kusum's words. Arjun says you took a big risk. Nandini says I had to take risk to take Preeti out of my way, but your dad came in between. Preeti thinks does Nandini really love K.T. Nandini sees Preeti in the mirror and does a drama. She slaps Arjun and asks, why didn't you stop me from doing this wrong thing? When I called the police, I could have not forgiven myself if KT went to jail. I just want my family back. She shows Preeti to Arjun. Nandini says, I made a big mistake to choose wrong way. I wish I had the courage to meet him and apologize. You know I love him a lot. I understand. I don't want you to do any mistake. He will never forgive me. His wounds are deep. He had spent 17 years in my memories. He loves me a lot. We should go back to Singapore. Arjun says no. I dreamt to have a family. KT doesn't love Preeti. He loves you. Nandini says your dream won't get fulfilled. We are going to Singapore. Preeti thinks Nandini is repenting for her mistakes. She won't cheat him again. Nandini and Arjun cry. Preeti goes and thinks of KT's words. She thinks maybe KT and Nandini are made for each other. Pause. Aya plays. She cries. She comes to KT. He asks what happened. She asks wound didn't heal. He does the aid. She thinks I got the right ointment for your wounds. He asks, are you fine? She says yes. He says, I know the day was tough for us. He takes rest. She says, you look very handsome today. He says, what is it? You complimented me today. She goes crying. She calls out Nandini. She says, you and KT should unite. Nandini asks, will you leave from his life forever? Preeti says yes. But not so soon. KT is broken apart. I can't leave him in this state. When he feels love for you again and accepts you, then I will leave from this house and his life, it's my promise. She goes. Nandini smiles. KT rests in Neelima's lap and talks to her. He says, I will never be able to make my relation strong with Arjun. My son was away for 17 years. Now he is here. Even then I feel helpless. It's wrong. Preeti goes to Arjun and asks him to listen to her for KT's sake. Arjun comes to KT and apologizes. He says, forgive me for calling the police. He hugs KT. KT says, I can never be upset with you. Neelima smiles and says, my ad and KT, both are the best. Preeti thinks you lost 17 years of your son's age. I won't let you lose anything now. You have to accept Nandini and complete the family.